we are now ready to begin our All Other Breeds Wool Show. So these are all the other breeds of wool-type sheep that we don't have individual breed shows for because of numbers. So at this time, we're ready to bring in Junior Ram Lambs. Junior Ram Lambs. Folks, if you're waiting to come in the ring, we ask that you go down the aisle heading out to the trailers rather than down that center aisle. That's a traffic aisle for the people visiting the fair. Okay, out here in the ring, and I'm going to read the breed off, and you guys just raise your hand if you would, if you don't mind the handler telling the folks who you've got. We have blue-faced Leicesters, and the blue-faced Leicester is of the English long wool type, and they originated near Hexham in the county of Northumberland in England during the early 1900s. The blue-faced Leicester is a very prolific breed with lambing percentages reported to range between 220% to 250%. Their wool is classed as a demi-luster and fine, and their wool qualities appear to even be passed on to their crossbred offspring. The natural colored Cotswold. There you go. The Cotswold is considered a dual-purpose long wool breed that originated in the Cotswold Hills in England. The breed was introduced into the U.S. in 1831. Here in the U.S., they are raised primarily for wool. Cotswold wool hangs in locks and fibers that have a luxurious, silky sheen. There's a separate breed registry for the black or natural colored Cotswolds from the white Cotswolds, as they are considered a distinct breed. Finn sheep, there you go. Finn sheep, or Finnish landrace as they're known in their native country of Finland, are one of the most prolific breeds of sheep in the world. Ewes will have typically multiple births of 3 or 4 lambs. Finns are related to the other Scandinavian short-tailed breeds. They were first introduced and imported into the U.S. in 1968. More research work and data has been compiled in the U.S. involving Finn sheep and their carcasses than any other breed of sheep. In recent years, Finn sheep have become valued for their soft fleeces of medium wool, which have a wide range of colors. The Gotland, not sure, we've got Gotlands here on the last two. The Gotland sheep was first established on the Swedish Isle of Gotland by the Vikings, along with Karakul and Romanov sheep that they brought back from expeditions deep into Russia. The original primitive horn Gotland sheep still exist on that island. The Gotland pelt sheep, or modern Gotland, has been developed in Sweden since the 1920s through controlled breeding and intensive selection, which has produced a true multi-purpose long wool sheep with fur skins and soft, silky, lustrous fleeces. Then we also have out here the Leicester long wool. And the Leicester long wool has fleeces that are very heavy, curly, soft handling, and luxurious, with a spiral-tipped staple. They are currently found in the U.S., Great Britain, Australia, and New Zealand. The breed was developed in the 1700s by noted genetic researcher Robert Blake. Blake took from the old Leicester sheep to develop this breed through selection techniques, and those new selection techniques that changed a coarsely boned, slow-growing Leicester into an animal that put on weight more rapidly and produced less waste when slaughtered. George Washington even commented about Blake's interesting work, and he was very interested in the ideas that Blake proposed. And in 1793, Washington wrote that a good choice for good rams was from the English Leicester breed, which they were using at the time when they could get them over to the colonies, even though the prohibitive laws and custom rates kind of made it difficult to get them in from England. Again, this is a very old breed. It's a long wool breed. If you watch and look around at the Leicesters in the barn and then look at these, you'll see a distinct difference between the two. We have one other breed that's not out here right now, and we'll talk about it whenever it comes and that out in the ring, and that's the Herdwick as well.
We have a mixed class here, as our announcer admitted that it's a lot different sheep out here that, you know, they are AOB wool, which means apples, oranges, and bananas. I mean, there are different kinds of fleeces, different structures, and different sheep altogether. The the ram I'm starting with, very up-headed. Yes, he is the biggest ram in the class. That's not why he's there. But I certainly appreciate his structure, his soundness. That shoulder, his neck and head come right up out of his shoulders. He profiles really nice, and he has a gorgeous fleece to boot. Next, yes, a little ram lamb in this class, little white ram lamb. Open that fleece, and it is gorgeous. It just shines, and it's got a nice crimp to it. He's very well endowed. He's structurally sound. Really appreciate him. My next ram, very similar to my first place, not the fleece structure that I have on my first place ram, but a nice ram in his own right. Not as good over his top line as my first place ram. Ram in fourth, luscious fleece. You open that up, it's just silver and sparkly and really nice. Here again, we have a different breed of sheep than the top three, but very nice, structurally sound, structurally correct in what he's supposed to be, his breed. Very nice, good on his feet and legs, has a good loin in him, and like I said, a super fleece. Then we have this little fin down here on the end, or fifth place. Very nice ram in his own right. I appreciate his fleece. It's very curly and nice and a little lustrous. He's got that front end that I like, that's very feminine and very nice. He fits in the top 5 here, structurally sound and with a good fleece. Down the line we have some others, but their fleece are just varies. It's too much for me today, but congratulations. Thank you.
Placing up. Check, check. Check. Check, check, 1, 2. Placing on the class of Junior Ram Lambs for the AOB Wool Show. First place in that class went to entry number 1005, Granite State 0024, Allen. Julia Ducky Shute of Limpster, New Hampshire, ram weighing 167 pounds. Second to a ram weighing 93 pounds at Lincoln Longwool, entry 1002, WPW 0078, Darby. Victoria Fuller, Valley View Vine, Hochstein, Delaware. Third place, ram weighing 179, entry 1007, Granite State 25, Jimmy, Julia Chute, Lipster, New Hampshire. Fourth to 1008, Catherine O'Donnell, Marshfield, Massachusetts. 5 to 1003, Yankee Rock Farm, Sari Swanson and Colin Sigmund of Orwell, Vermont. 6, second in the junior show to 1004, SHF, Short Hill Farm, 2213, Bob, Carter Short, Ballston Spa, New York. 7 to entry 1009, Catherine O'Donnell, Marshfield, Massachusetts. 8, third in the junior show, Carter Short, Ballston Spa, New York. For our ram show in the AOB wool, our champion ram went to the first place out of that junior ram lamb class. Entry 1005, Granite State 0024 Allen. Julia Ducky Chute of Lipster, New Hampshire, that's a blue-faced Lester. Reserve champion in the open show went to entry 1002, and that's also our junior show champion, WPW 0078 Darby. Victoria Fuller, Hockerson, Delaware, and that's a Lester Longwool. And our reserve junior champion was entry 1004, Short Hill Farm 2213 Bob on a natural colored Cotswold, Carter Short, Ballston Spa, New York. So placing on the pair of ram lambs, first place went to Julia Chute, Lipster, New Hampshire. Second place to Catherine O'Donnell, Marshfield, Massachusetts. Third, Carter Short, Ballston Spa, New York.
Check 1 2 1 2. Check 1 2. Check 1 2 1 2. Check. The one additional breed that we didn't mention whenever we were introducing is now in the ring. They're at my left end of the show ring, down by the photo stand. There's two of them there. Those are the Herdwick. The Herdwick is a very old breed, possibly originating from Scandinavia. They were considered to be the hardiest of Britain's hill sheep. The Herdwick lambs are born mostly black. Their fleeces turn to a dark brown and gray as they get older. Their wool is thick and coarse and wiry, and it's used primarily for outerwear and carpets. Herdwick rams sport horns while the ewes are polled. In 2008, the first Herdwick semen was introduced into the United States. So here's your first trivia question during the AOB show. At last year's AOB Wool Breed Show, who exhibited the Grand Champion ewe? Yes, it was Julia Chute from New Hampshire. Adele got it.
Here again we have yearling ewes in the AOB. We have several different breeds and kinds and types and fleeces and structure. I like big sheep. I tend to go that way sometimes, but they have to be big sheep and they have to be good from end to end, structurally sound, and have a gorgeous fleece for me. I love the way this ewe comes up out of her shoulders. She's very feminine up front, and she looks like she should go on and be a very good brood ewe, hopefully. Next ewe, yes, she is a smaller package. She's a Finn with a very nice fleece and a very definite wave and curl in this fleece. She's up-headed too, and she walks really fancy right out on her feet and legs. I appreciate that. Next ewe, she matches the first place ewe, but not as well in her fleece structure. Very nice over her top, good legs when she wants to stand on them and behave herself. Next two ewes, totally different fleeces than my top 3 ewes, but very nice and lustrous underneath there. Big ewe here in 4, really appreciate her femininity and her length of loin. She's really put together very nicely. My 5th place ewe has a nice fleece on her. I really appreciate that. She just doesn't have big enough for me today to move her up any further with the fleeces that I have up top. Congratulations, thank you.
Placing on the class of yearling ewes for the all other breeds wool. First place goes to entry 1014, Chapin 395, Miss Fern, Julia Ducky Chute, Limpster, New Hampshire, a ewe weighing 242. Second, a ewe weighing 136, entry 1015, Yankee Rock Farm 2120, Yankee Rock Farm, Siri Swanson and Colin Sigmund, Orwell, Vermont. Third place, a ewe weighing 212, to entry 1013, Julia Chute, Limpster, New Hampshire. Fourth place, first in the junior show, Short Hill Farm 2109, Annis, Carter Short, Ballston Spa, New York. Fifth place to entry 1022, Christine Atkins, Griswold, Connecticut. Sixth place, second in the junior show, to 1017, Short Hill Farm 2112, Anastasia, Carter Short, Ballston Spa, New York. Seventh place to entry 1023, Helder Herdwick Farm, Aaron Bratt, Eastburn, New York. 8 to entry 1024, Helder Herdwick Farm. Rena Bratt of Eastburn, New York. 9th place, third in the junior show to 1018, Victoria Fuller, Valley View Vine. Hockerson, Delaware, and 10, fourth in the junior show to 1020, also Victoria Fuller, Valley View Vine. We're now ready for senior ewe lambs. Senior ewe lambs, your next class. Placing on the pair of yearling ewes, first place went to 1026, Julia Chute, Limpster, New Hampshire. Second to 1028, Carter Short, Ballston Spa, New York. Third to 1027, Victoria Fuller, Valley View Vine, Hockerson, Delaware. Check. 1, 2, 1, 2, check. Okay, here's your second trivia question. At what Illinois breeder exhibited the champion ewe at the Big E AOB Wool Breed Show in 2012, 10 years ago?
We have two nice fin ewes, yearling ewes to show in or senior ewes, I'm sorry, in this class. I like both of them have gorgeous fleeces from end to end, really structurally sound. The top line on my first place ewe and the way her head comes up out of her shoulders really presents herself very well. Really appreciate both of them for their fleeces. Thank you.
And the answer to that trivia question, I don't see anybody jumping on that one, is Cruitt Sheep Farm from Findlay, Illinois. It was a Columbia. Results of the senior ewe lamb class. First place goes to entry number 1030, a ewe weighing 115. Yankee Rock Farm 2157. Yankee Rock Farm, Siri Swanson and Colin Siegman of Orwell, Vermont. Second place, a ewe weighing 114, entry 1029. Yankee Rock Farm 2153. Yankee Rock Farm, Siri Swanson and Colin Siegman, Orwell, Vermont. Now ready for junior ewe lambs.
Really nice ewe to start this class with. I love her structure, the way her shape. She's got a long loin, plus she's got a good fleece on her from end to end, walks really well out on her feet and legs, has that front end that I like, very feminine, really appreciate that. Next ewe, very similar in style, but not holding her back up as well as my first place one. But looks very well. Not the uniformity that I have in my first place over my second one. Third place, a fin ewe. Very nice fleece from her, from end to end, really sweet. Nice formation of lock and thing, nice loin on her. My next ewe, very nice ewe. I love the way that the fleece just shimmers. I just like to be, like I said with the ram lamb, there's apples, oranges, and bananas out here, and you just have to go with what you feel is the best for that breed. This ewe represents her breed very well. Love the way the fleece shimmers and as she walks right out there like, here I am. Next ewe, she may not look that pretty out there. She has a dark shade out there on her fleece. Very pretty ewe, very nice ewe for fleece quality from end to end. Really appreciate the fleece. She just needs a little more groceries or be a bigger sheep for me today to compete ahead of these four. Thank you.
Next class will be pair of ewe lambs. Next class, pair of ewe lambs. Placing on the class of junior ewe lambs, first place in the open and in the junior show goes to 1035. Short Hill Farm 2225 Bridget, Carter Short, Ballston Spa, New York, with a natural colored Cotswold. Second place to 1031 Sweet Meadow 0204, Sweet Meadow Farm, Webster, New Hampshire, with a Blueface Leicester weighing 136. Third place, 194-pound lamb, Yankee Rock Farm 2225, Yankee Rock Farm, Siri Swanson and Colin Siegman, Orwell, Vermont. 4 to 1037, Catherine O'Donnell, Marshfield, Massachusetts. 5, second in the junior show to 1032, HHT 124, Fabi, Victoria Fuller, Hawkinson, Delaware. This was a Leicester Longwool. 6, third in the junior show to Carter Short, Ballston Spa, New York. 7 to 136, Catherine O'Donnell, Marshfield, Massachusetts. And 8 to 1038, Aaron Bratt, Helder Herdwick Farm, Eastburn, New York. Placing on the pair of ewe lambs class, first place goes to Yankee Rock Farm, Siri Swanson and Colin Siegman,
Orwell, Vermont. Second to Carter Short, Ballston Spa, New York. And third place to Catherine O'Donnell, Marshfield, Massachusetts. We are now showing for Open Show Champion and Reserve Champion U. We now need to show for Junior Show Champion in Reserve. Our overall champion for the Open Show went to the first place yearling ewe, which is a Blueface Leicester 1014, Chapin 395, Miss Fern, Julia Ducky Chute, Lipster, New Hampshire. And the reserve overall grand champion for the Open Show was from our senior ewe lamb class, a Finn entry 1030, Yankee Rock Farm 2157, Yankee Rock Farm, Siri Swanson and Colin Siegman, Orwell, Vermont. Again, now ready to show for Junior Show Champion and Reserve Champion U. Following the selection of our junior show champion and reserve champion U, we will have exhibitors flock. For our junior show champion U is the first place junior show yearling U, Short Hill Farm 2109, Anise Carter Short, Ballston Spa, New York. That's on a natural colored Cotswold. The reserve champion was our first place animal out of the junior U lamb class, 1035, another natural colored Cotswold, Short Hill Farm 2225, Bridget, Carter Short, Ballston Spa, New York. Again, now ready for exhibitors flock. Exhibitors flock. Carter, that's you. Placing on the exhibitors flock, first place to Carter Short, Ballston Spa, New York. We are now ready for Get of Sire. Now ready for best fleeced animal. The placing on the Get of Sire class. First place goes to Julia Ducky Chute, Limster, New Hampshire. And second in the Get of Sire goes to Catherine O'Donnell, Marshfield, Massachusetts. Now judging for best fleeced animal. Our best fleeced animal goes to entry 1002, WPW 0078 Derby out of the Junior Ram Lamb class, Victoria Fuller of Hockessin, Delaware. And now the Premier Exhibitor Award. Congratulations goes to Carter Short, Boston Spa, New York. And the Premier Breeder Award, and congratulations goes to Yankee Rock Farm, Siri Swanson and Colin Siegman, Orwell, Vermont.